now we've got to turn to politics for just a minute because
Oh,
I
we were having
can't.
so much fun. Go back
Yeah,
go
I
back to lovely
know.
thoughts.
Know.
We're remembering a
Such
great
lovely
children's
thoughts.
author. We're having some fun. We're talking about pets and Miss Texas and CJ possibly going to music camp and all this kind of good stuff. And now you're like, wah, wah.
Well, it's time to talk a little bit about that Wuhan chili COVID-19.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it really is. I think it's hilarious. Donald Trump, first of all, Joe Biden has gone behind and done and affirmed a lot of the things that President Trump had said that he denied during the campaign and said that President Trump didn't have any business doing what he was doing and that he was making this stuff up. And so now Dr. Fauci, Dr. Vote Screw Up Fauci, after President Trump is gone, comes out and says during Joe Biden's administration, well, let's not discount the fact that COVID-19 isn't lab generated and it didn't come out of the Wuhan lab. And I'm thinking, you have got to be kidding me. Now, here's what's so funny.
Nope.
The liberal news, they have to report it because it's a Joe Biden, Dr. Vote Screw Up Fauci kind of thing, so they don't want to miss out, right? So what do they say? They have to add in there, yes, Dr. Fauci now says that the Wuhan lab could have generated COVID-19. But keep in mind, President Trump is one who created hate Asian Americans by making up funny names. And then they would do that in a different colored font. So it couldn't have been, well, yeah, President Trump said that this thing was coming out of a lab thrown out there by China. No, they just had to put in there that it's Donald Trump's fault that everybody hates Asians now, which I'm not
They
sure
have
that
they
I
have
do.
they have to bring up. I've never seen anything like it. They've got to bring up the. It's like they literally. Okay, so he is no longer president. So why do they keep talking about they are so obsessed in their hate. And this is the liberal media I'm talking about. They are so obsessed in their hate for Donald Trump, for President Trump, that they can't help themselves. JP, have you ever seen anything like this in political history when it comes to
No.
literally air quotes, quote unquote, reporters talking about? I'm like, what? Y'all literally can't have a broadcast without bringing his name up.
Well, but again, here's the thing, though, right? President Trump said that he believed this had been manufactured in this bioweapons laboratory in Wuhan. Now Joe Biden is saying it. Dr. Fauci is saying we can't rule it out, but they're heroes because they're not ruling it out and they're investigating. But President Trump was a buffoon and created Asian hate crimes. And I'm like, how do you get to that leap, number one? Number two, my other big issue is instead of the United States investigating, it sounds like Jumpin' Joe can't get my shit together Biden is going to rely on the WHO and other foreign entities to investigate the Wuhan flu. And it's like, when did we start relying on the foreign community to head our investigations?
I just feel like we have gone from a very protected nation, and then I'll make one comment and then I'll let you close this segment out. I think I feel personally like we've gone from a very protected, safe nation where people knew don't mess with America because President Trump is serious about keeping his folks safe, to setting ducks. And I say this having just a few weeks ago had a conversation. I think I told you this conversation because it hit me so strongly. A friend of mine since high school, really proud during the Trump administration. His son went into the Army. We've all been just cheering him on, super proud of him. Just God bless him and keep him safe because he is special forces, special operations. I don't want to mess that up, but he is a mechanic. So he's one of the ones when a vehicle or some type of transportation unit is down in a combat situation, he's one of the guys that goes out and fixes it. So, could be very dangerous. And my friend said, Kathy, I used to put my head on my pillow at night, obviously, praying for my kids. And, just think really proud of my son, keep him safe. And he said, I wake up and I'm consumed. He said, ever since Biden got into the White House, he said, I'm afraid he doesn't have my son's back. He doesn't have the military's back. And he said that he literally is obsessed with worry and consumed with worry most of the day. He said while he's working, it never leaves his mind. And that's really sad to go from just a few months ago not worrying because you knew the president had your child's back as a military person to consumed with worry, Well,
but again, it goes to everything that's been undone by the Biden administration. I mean, we've never seen such a flurry of executive orders come off the president's desk, ever.
Yep.
And on top of that, I mean, look at gas prices. Gas prices have soared in less than 6 months. I don't know what you're paying at the pump, but I've seen gas prices anywhere from $2.90 to $3.90 already.
Oh,
and on the West Coast, they're over $5.
It's interesting. You just said that. I was literally about to say, what about your family in California? I was curious what they're paying. Somebody put on Facebook the other day. I mean, it's definitely in the grocery store. I told you, on a typical weekly grocery trip, and not that I just take one. I love the grocery store, but anyways, JP's always like, "Are you in the grocery store again?" Yes, I am. But on the main weekly trip where yeah, at the Olive Bar, and thank goodness those got opened back up. But anyway, so they a trip that normally I can count on. I know the normal staples I've got to get every week, around $150. Well, I'm averaging it closer to $179 now. Not switching that once a week trip. And then that's not counting all the other times I'm going out and getting things. And I'm seeing things go up an entire $1. One of the things, Diet Coke, because my husband loves Diet Coke. The 6-pack that used to be like at the community Walmart used to be, like $2.50 or something for a 6-pack of the skinnier Coke bottles, it's now almost $4. And I'm just like, my goodness. And the gas is ridiculous. Somebody. Just
keep looking for things that President Trump did during his administration that he was purely executed for Joe Biden to pick up and say, we need to be cautious about this and we need to look at this.
Yep. So
it's kind of like President Trump did not have on his agenda, hey, let's open up an embassy in Libya. But for some reason, Joe Biden has decided amongst everything that's going on, let's go ahead and let's worry about putting an embassy back in Libya.
Yep.
And he's put Susan back in charge of that as Secretary of Domestic Policy, and she was the one that was hating on all of our Benghazi guys. So that's who we definitely want leading the charge. So just wanted to put out there, the politics aren't getting any better, and it's hilarious how President Trump was so right on so many different things, but so wrong at the time. But now it's all coming back full circle. Thank you, Dr. Ice. Get up the vote, Fauci. We appreciate you.
Yeah, the hypocrisy is just crazy. Somebody put on Facebook last night, and you probably saw it, it's a mutual friend of ours. They said, I don't like to brag about the purchase of expensive things, but I just can't help myself today. I bought gas. Or I filled my car up with gas or something like that. And I just thought that was so funny. It's sad, but funny. It makes a difference, especially, with the pandemic. So many people have they've either lost a job or they have not received any kind of a raise, or they're doing the job of 2 and 3 people because they cut staff. So many people have had to tighten their belt during the pandemic anyways. So groceries, which are a necessity, gas, which is a necessity. I mean, JP, you can't go, you have to get gas, you have to get groceries. And And if you don't think that that's a direct impact from the current administration, you're crazy. You know?
Well, I mean, I'm looking at gas prices right now. Again, $3.13.
Yep.
So looking at a side flag.
And you just went by, and are you talking about you literally just drove by a gas station and saw that?
Yeah.
Yeah. See?
Yeah. So keep tuned in. We'll continue to talk about Joe. I can't get my politics right, Biden, because I don't speak English anymore. And so we'll keep you apprised of that. Don't forget to catch JP Cassie and the Crew on Spotify. You can watch the whole show on Spotify.